But the Project Media tab is not only good for keeping track of what we've used in the project, but also a way for us to organize our media, especially if we have a lot of elements that we're trying to deal with. So let's go to the Explorer tab, and I'm going to add a bunch of media to this project. I'll turn off Auto Preview, and we'll click on several of these media files. Bel Air, Bike Race, Campfire, Crowd, Farmhouse, Guitar Guy. We'll just click this anyway, even though it's already in the project. Kitten Play, I'm going to skip Kittens 2 for now. Kittens 3 and 4. Park Cycling, River, Snow. That should be enough for now. And having selected these all, we right-click and add to Project Media List. So there's a little bit of a glow here telling us something's going on over at Project Media. Let's go check it out. And sure enough, we see thumbnails for all the files that just got added. Notice also Guitar Guy only appears once because you can't add the same file more than once in your Project Media tab. Although we can certainly use it in unlimited instances back on the timeline here. So how can we actually organize our media and break them down into different categories? So let's use the bins here. We have all media is the default, and that's showing us all the media that's in the project. And then we have media bins, and right now there's nothing there because none have been defined. So now we'll right-click just to the right of where it says media bins, and we have the option here to create a new bin. So let's create a new bin and call it Bicycling. Now let's go back to all media and let's find our bicycling clips. So we have Bike Race. So I'm just going to click and drag that, drop it right onto the bin. And there's another one here, Park Cycling. So let's drag that one over also. Let's click now on bicycling, and sure enough, it's showing us the two bicycling related clips. Of course, they're still represented in all media because that's going to show us all the media in this project regardless of what bins they're in. But if we had several hundred media files here and we wanted to find bicycling and there are only a few and they're in the bin, then we can just go to the bicycling bin and get rid of all the extraneous stuff for the moment. Now, why do we call them bins? Because in the days of film editing, when you actually had scissors and razor blades and cut pieces of film, you'd keep the pieces in actual physical bins. So how else can we use bins? Well, we can search for different things and then make a bin for things that match that search. And before I do this, let's go ahead and change the view from thumbnails to details. And I'll expand the window here. There's actually quite a few parameters here that are kept track of for each of these media files. So we have the name, of course, the use count, how many times it's being used in the project. Here we have Guitar Guys listed as 2, and that's because we have the video and audio, and those each count for 1 instance. So we have 2 uses of that media. We have the time code in and out, and that's from the original media clip, and the length, the actual file size, when it was modified, all kind of different things here that we can look up about each one of these media files. So let's do something simple here. I'm going to right-click and search media bins. This is on all media, so it should search all the media in the project. And under field to search, it starts off with all, but we can pick one of the individual parameters here. Let's just search all for condition. In other words, it's going to contain the word snow. And I'll search for that. And look, it just picked out the media file called snow. If we right-click on the search result, we can save that as a bin. So there's a new media bin. We have to kind of manually rename it here. I'm going to hit F2 and call that snow. So here's all our media. Here's bicycling. Here's snow. Let's get a little more sophisticated here. You may remember that we had the length of the media listed here. So let's search for all the media that's less than 30 seconds. So in order to search all the media, we got to make sure that we're on all media. I'm going to right-click, search media bins. This time let's search for length, And now we have different conditions we can pick. Less than, greater than, equal to, in between. Let's say anything less than 30 seconds. So I'm going to put a value in of 0 hours, 0 minutes, 30 seconds. And search. It whittles down the whole list to these 7. And let's just make sure length, all of these are less than 30 seconds. So let's save this as a bin. Rename. Less than 30. Alright, let's go back to the thumbnail view. This is a little more graphic way to see this. So all media, that's everything in the project. Notice it's rearranged a little bit from before because I expanded the window out some. Here's the 2 clips we designated as bicycling. Snow, less than 30 seconds. Now something else we could do with the bins is actually transfer this group of clips from one project to another. So let's say you wanted to start a whole new project, but you knew you wanted to use all the same media. So I'm just going to move this interface over a little bit, and let's get up another instance of Movie Studio here. And now I've got a blank project here on the right. There's nothing in the media window. Let's just move this around so we can see the project media again. And now watch what happens when we drag one of these bins from one instance of Vegas into another one. It's going to drag this over, drop it into media bins. And look at that, less than 30, and here we go. All those clips less than 30 appear. Now you can actually drag the entire set of media bins in just by grabbing the root directory of the media bins and dropping that in. You just have another level to go to, so there's media bins within media bins, but that will get all of your categories together. So let's put that away and stretch this back out to the full width. Now let's go back to all media, see all the media clips again. This time we're going to right click and search media bin for the word kitten. It comes up with these 3 clips: Kitten Play, Kittens 003, Kittens 004. Let's go ahead and make a bin. Again, rename it. Now we'll go back to all media and let's add Kittens 002, and that's back in the Explorer tab here. Going to right click, add to project media list, and sure enough Kittens 002 shows up. But even though we searched before for the word kitten, that was before we just added this, and unfortunately it's not going to realize that this other clip has been added. And so we're going to call this a dumb bin, because in Vegas Pro we now have smart bins that are going to behave a little differently.